Hello there, and it's time we started the new fort. I only actually have the initial 7 names at the moment, so if anyone else wants a dwarf, let me know. Otherwise, you 7 are probably going to be reincarnated a hell of a lot. So I only have one region, because this is a new download. I've had a couple of days practice, and the only thing I found was that I could not smelt malachite into copper ore, so hopefully that was just the one bug. And this actually looks like a pretty good place to settle. Is there a way I can mark this and come back for it later? N. Okay, I think that work? Yes, okay, so I've marked that location. Aquifers. See, what I'm trying to find is a river without an aquifer, as well as shallow metal. And anything after that is pretty much a bonus, as long as it has trees and is warm. Which is why I actually like to start off relatively early, like 100 years in. I've seen people wait, and oh, this looks promising. Temperate though, needs to be warm if possible. There's an aquifer once we get up a little ways anyway. No, because that means water would freeze. It needs to be at least warm, because you've probably all noticed I am not the best when it comes to water sources and such. I have had a few forts just kind of shrivel up and dry, and everyone die from lack of water. I think what I'm going to do is pause it here while I have a look around for some decent locations, so you're not just sat watching me look through this. So I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay, so I think I found something pretty perfect here. We have a desert, at least I think it's a desert. It says it's a tropical grassland, so maybe that's like a savanna or something, but it looks like a desert to me. It's hot with sparse trees, which we can kind of get away with. We just make more things out of stone. There's clay here, which you can farm in, although it's not the best. Deep soil, shallow metals, deep metals, and flux stone. So I think we are going to embark here in the Hill of Bastions. Well, we'll be changing that. Prepare carefully for the journey. I'll name these after off screen, because I've got to bring a load of crap up to do that. Oh, excuse me. Now, normally the top guys are always miners, so I think I'll swap that. Oh, sorry, I just had like a crap ton of fizzy pop, so we'll have an adequate woodcutter, and he might as well be the carpenter as well. If there's not many trees, you're not going to spend a lot of time chopping them down. The mason, you can have a point in building design as well. Wood burner is its own skill now. Huh, who knew? I think I'll actually have that because I had a problem with that. That's why I couldn't smelt the malachite. So the wood burner, you can do some stone crafting, some bone carving. There's no point putting points in the other skills because I'm not going to use them. 300 points. We might have to get rid of that. Let's see, where do you get anvils from? I don't see anvils, so yeah, we'll get rid of this steel anvil. We can always buy one later. We'll get some more dwarven ale and some plump helmet spawns. Because these year-round food, everyone knows that. These are like the wonder food of Dwarf Fortress. And I will want 2 of each kind of cat to keep the vermin away. We'll come back to that afterwards if we feel like it. Let's see, what have I actually got now? We have the carpenter, the mason, the stonecrafter. Let's have these 2 guys here as miners. Now what does that leave us needing? It's been a while since I've done embarks. We need a fisherman still. And he might as well take care of the brewing and the cooking. And what can we make this last guy into? I don't particularly want to make him a military dwarf because then we'd have to buy all the stuff for him. The hell's a pacifier? Yeah, we'll make this guy a leader. We'll just make him a noble from the start. Which means he should be a good appraiser and organizer. And negotiator. We'll give him the basics for those. And now I'm going to name these guys. I'll just do that off screen here in a second. And then we'll spend the rest of these points on items. Okay, so I've got these 7 named, the first 7. And I'm not sure what's going on with these points here. Something a bit crazy's happened. But I'll go up to the top and everyone can see their skills. So we have Matnek here as the woodcutter slash carpenter. Seymour is the mason. That there British guy, you are a wood burner and a craftsman, a craftsdwarf, sorry. Zane and running with thermite are my miners. Axial, I think that's how you say it. It doesn't really matter how I say it. He's going to ride my chops about it. You are the farmer. And Dennis Solanta is the dedicated noble, which means he's going to be hauling a lot of crap at the start until we actually have use of a noble. So let's see what extra items we can get now that we have all this stuff. Let's see here. We can get extra drinks. Dwarven wine, we'll have some. Why not? It's hot. Dwarves like to drink. Makes perfect sense. Some extra food. Prepared raccoon intestines. Well, that just sounds fucking delicious. So we'll bring some more of that. And animals. Let's see here. We don't have any dogs. So we will bring 2 of each. And we have 1 point left. So let's get a rock nut. Because it sounds awesome. Name fortress. Let's do that. So we'll just randomize these until I see something I like. Earthen roof. No. I'll pause this till I find something I like, because this could take a while. Okay, so I was going for ages and didn't find... Wait, it wasn't really that long. But I didn't find anything I really liked. And then Coppermanor came up, so screw it, we're going with that. And name the group. Let's see here. The Blunt Crypts. Nope. If we don't find anything soon, I will just pause again. Now the Channel of Lances, it'll do. So we're ready to embark with our 7 brave-ass dwarfs. And let's see just how desert-like this place we're going is. And you can pause that and read that if you want, but the only important part is strike the earth. And this does not look very desert-like at all. So we've got a bit of a delta there. Not all too many trees, but it was said to be sparse. We have gypsum straight away in this hill here. I may tunnel into this hill, or I may just tunnel straight down near the river. Depends how I'm feeling. Let's see here, just how deep is this river? Brook. We may have to deepen that ourselves. Make a little pond. But, you know, I think digging straight down here is as good a place as any. So let's get started here with a downward stairway. Right here, 3 by 3. I like 3 by 3. And this music seems a little bit loud. Just quieten that down a little bit. There we go. And we have this stray yak bull with us. If I remember, was that a yak as well, or is that a water buffalo up there? Water buffalo, that's a shame. I do need to remember how to pasture things though, because I have completely forgotten. And we'll put a little farm in here straight away. One level down there'll be plenty of water, so we won't actually have to flood anything. Now the first video I don't break things up all that much, so you'll pretty much get solid footage for the first hour or so of the fort, and after that I'll start to cut out the boring bits like this of just mining and repetitive designations like bedrooms. Okay, so we'll get another downward stairway. We'll put that one there, and then we'll probably go down a few floors until we hit stone. Actually no, you know what we're going to do? We're going to build our storerooms up here in the sand, so that we don't have to move all the rock out of them to make any kind of use out of them. So for now we'll just go 10 across and 10 up, and we can expand from that to build as many storerooms as we need to. Don't really like the idea of all these guys just standing idle, so I'll get this tree chopper dude, and he can start chopping me some crap. Who is that again? That'll be Multi-Mat Neck. And that would be a cat, in case you were wondering. I do want to get 2 storerooms right away for the food and the wood, just to get them inside so I can actually have a look at how much I have. You never need to worry about how much stone you have, you always have too much. Okay. Not the way I wanted it, but it'll do. For storerooms and farm rooms and that kind of thing, I normally like to have them 10 by 10. It's just easy. And then every storeroom's equal and you can just split them up as you need to. Like say have one for gems, armor and weapons, and then one whole one for wood. Now then, let's see, build a farm plot. There we go. Well, on you, Eager. Down with just as I finished designating. And obviously that's just going to be plump helmets all year round, and then I'll buy some better seeds or some more diverse seeds from the traders and see if we can figure out what to plant and when. Okay, just had someone at my door. So I've completely forgot if I was saying anything interesting, but we are going to get this douche to work, which I believe is Axial, something like that. Who the hell are you? Yeah, Axial. I'm going to say it like axe, as in, you know, a big sharp thing. It makes more sense that way. Damn it, why didn't you finish off those 4 squares? I've got 7 dwarves and like half of them are idle. Right, lovely, so stockpile. We'll have this one for food. And this one for wood. can add the other ones coming off the side anytime we want. But the dwarves are going to be busy for a minute now, bringing all this crap in. But I do not want to be hanging around. Let's go see what's underneath this layer. Shouldn't be too many more levels before we hit some kind of rock. I think this is actually proper soil. Hallway, and we'll just do some up down stairways for a few levels. Was it I for those? Yes, so and we will go down, say 5 levels. There we go. Let's see how that turns out. Now we have no one idle. Isn't that good? We've hit rock. But I want to go down a few levels so I know it's all rock. And I've struck malachite. It seems to be fairly common. Where the hell did I strike that? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that'll be turned into a mine, and hopefully I can actually smelt that this time, because that's what went wrong in my the little fort I had going on my own. But this world I've generated seems to be mostly malachite and gypsum and limestone. Now that that's done, we will build at the bottom. I think it's, you need to make some upstairs to finish this off. And there is a way to hotkey this stuff, but I've completely forgotten what it is. And more malachite. It seems like this entire area is just crawling with it. We'll go across a little bit here and plan out some kind of dining hall. I hate having square dining halls, but I'm not really great at design, so don't expect anything overly fancy. Right? Yeah, I think that's right. Let's see here. What can we add on the end? How about a couple of little alcoves? We'll set those aside for the nobility. Then put in some pillars because it looks good, and we'll engrave them with stories later. There we go. Shouldn't take all that long for that to be done. And it looks like our great hall is like full of copper. Well, malachite, which is one of 4 ores of copper. I'll bring this up for you here. Ore of copper. That's the only use for it. It can be made into alloys as well. That's all its description is. But I forgot what you can combine it with to make it into alloys and what it produces. But if I remember rightly, we do have a wood burner with us. I think that was that there British guy. What was your other job? If I can find you. Maybe it's view. That there British guy. Yes, you are our crafter. So if I can, I'll build a forge as soon as we get a caravan and have someone making copper crafts instead of stone. I imagine anything made of metal is worth more than stone. Let's see now, exactly how much food did we have? 2.5 rolls, give or take. And you see here, for anyone who hasn't played, these little purple things here are hamster remains and like rats and that kind of thing. These are just vermin that get into your food, so it's good to have a refuse pile at the top before they start to stink your food supply out. But basically that's the best reason to have cats with you, is they'll clear out all the vermin, so that you're not losing food supplies to rodents, cockroaches and other kinds of thing. Seems like it's taken a little bit longer than I would have thought for the miners to dig through this. But I think what I'll do is, up until the first migrant wave, it'll be solid, uninterrupted footage, and after that I'll go to cutting out this kind of stuff. Seeing as we have no craft area yet, I think what I want to do is go down and build a furnace and see right now if I can make charcoal, because that was my problem. And if I can't make charcoal, I am going to scratch this recording and see if I can find out what the problem is. If I can, this workshop at the top won't last long. It'll be going down into a proper workshop area. Make charcoal. Now let's see if he does it. Yes, okay, we can make charcoal so we can smelt that malachite. So I'm just gonna kill that building off now. Let's see, how is the Great Hall doing? It won't be too much longer before that's done. But we already have copper, which means we can equip the military when we get one. Can't equip them very well, but we can equip them better than the elves can. They use sticks and tree bark for armor. I'm going to try and get into ranged combat and such with this fort, because in my others I haven't been too successful with the military. At least not to the point I've seen some other people who have like giant catapults and ballistas on top of 3-story walls. I keep seeing fish on land, so I assume we have lungfish here. What I do want to do is wall off an entire area. I'll bring up the mouse cursor thing here. Say from here to round about here somewhere, and have that as my courtyard. And I'll have little couple of bridges going across here, one with a well in it, and 1 or 2 fishing spots, so that even if we get sieged, I can just bring up the drawbridge and sit inside and still have a source of food apart from the farm. And it looks like it's nap time for the miners. As soon as this Great Hall's finished, I maybe should have waited to do this now that I think about it. I will make up the residential area, which is going to have the crafts dwarf area in it as well. Just because you don't need much room for crafts, and it seems a bit wasteful to have a whole floor just for that. But eventually you'll have to pass through the Great Hall to get into the lower mines, and I hope lower caverns and the crypts. This floor will be for residential and crafts. So we'll just go out 10 here, And I'll mark out a little area for the crafts now. Five across will be fine. There we go. Get all these linked up. And the reason I do the shops in this kind of grid formation is that I don't want them to block off, if they've only got like one entrance, I don't want them to block it off with the part of the workshop. I'm not sure if that's actually possible, but I just kind of got used to doing it this way. There we go. Like I said, after the first migrant wave, I'll cut out all this stuff. I just want it to be seen at least once. Although I doubt there's anyone watching this who hasn't already played Dwarf Fortress. And if you haven't played Dwarf Fortress, give yourself a slap around the back of the head now and go download it with the Iron Hand graphics pack. And if you're feeling particularly adventurous, go get like the Genesis mod pack. Sword, whatever that is. Is that gem? No. Limestone. Limestone. You sword. Oh, you're still limestone. Well, whatever the hell that is, we found it. We have one available workshop. So I want to get the Crafts Dwarf workshop up first, actually, because I want to be able to trade for some of the essential things, such as an anvil, seeing as we have all this metal lying around. So, rock crafts, repeat. Plus, rock crafts clear up the place. Gets rid of all the random pieces of stone lying around my fort. Can't stand that. And I have the population cap set to 50, just so I don't have an absurd number of useless dwarves running around smoothing stone and then engraving the entire fort, because I have had that happen before. Okay, so let's build the mason's workshop and the carpenter's workshop. Now that we have the room. Okay, so they're done. So I think what I'm going to have the carpenter work on is going to be barrels, beds, and bins constantly. And the mason will be working on thrones, doors, and tables. And you've already seen designation of all this kind of crap, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit and spend a bit of time planning out the 50 apartments that the dwarves are going to have, and I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay then, so that's the 50 bedrooms planned out, and I think on this side, when I can be bothered, I will plan out, say, the offices for the nobles. First I'm going to get all this section, the top section, dug out before I connect up the next section, and the same again before I connect up the bottom section. just because otherwise they will do like half a room and move on to like a section all the way down here. Okay then, so we're back to the surface. How are things going up here? Pretty well. We've got a little pool there we can drink from. A couple of dogs, a couple of cats. We've already half filled the refuse pile with like hamster corpses. And it looks like we've gone under the malachite veins now. Which isn't a bad thing because I don't particularly want to waste it by having it lining the walls of pointless rooms. Although, to be fair, it's right there, like one level below us. Oh well. This world seems to be absolutely full of the stuff, so it's nothing to worry about. It's not like we're wasting adamantine or anything. And I think we can actually place our first bed, so people can actually sleep on a bed, not like, you know, in the little bit wrong. That's wrong. Actually have an idea for how I'm going to have each of these rooms, so that even though it's only a 3x3 room, each dwarf will have a couple of items, and I've done that wrong as well. Sorry, I want to get this right. And headboards have to be against walls. I'm a bit weird, don't bug me. Which reminds me, we might as well assign Dennis as our broker and bookkeeper now. And what is it you require? I'm not sure how it is you check that crap. Okay, something's wrong with this. Settings. Ah. Go with highest precision. And I assume he just wants an office, so that'll be easily taken care of. He's just gonna have to wait for a little while. And we do have a bit more malachite down here, but it's nothing to worry about. I think I'll have another storeroom dug out once we've finished off this section here. I won't bother setting up the dining hall until the next wave arrives, so that I can pick a butcher and start killing all the useless animals. I'll probably keep a pair of, like, say, yak or water buffalo and get them breeding as another source of food. But for now, I'll probably just slaughter whatever comes along that isn't already a pet. Let's see, how many beds can we actually place down? Only another one for now. There we go. British guy is now officially a stone crafter. Although we will still do other jobs later on, like metal crafting. Although I'll probably have someone else for that. Now that British guy's actually got some experience, there doesn't seem to be much point in dragging him away for a job I can assign someone else to. Of course, the mason will get his stuff done faster because he doesn't have to run as far to get his materials. His are, like, you know, everywhere. Which reminds me, how did our woods... Oh, that's not great. So we are going to have to go a little bit easy on the wood, at least for a while. But once we've got these bedrooms done, we don't really have that much need for wood. It is mostly barrels and bins after that. Did I order cabinets? No, what did I order that stone guy to make? Well, you know what? We'll put cabinets on there as well, because each dwarf's going to get, hopefully, a cabinet and his own, maybe table and chair, maybe like a chest or something. I haven't decided yet. But the dwarves are going to get treated nice, seeing as there's only going to be a maximum of 50 of them. And a few of those will probably be kids and couples. So I doubt we're ever really going to use all 50 bedrooms, but it's nice to have them there. These miners have gotten quite a bit better. It's not taking them long at all to mine this section of the residential area out. This will be the first time I can, well, in a Let's Play anyway, I can actually make my own armor. Because up till now, the only ore I have been able to successfully get is silver. So everyone was running around with extremely expensive hammers and maces, and then cobbled together pieces of armor I bought from merchants. But at this rate, I think I will be buying a lot of my lumber. Which isn't a problem, lumber's fairly cheap. Okay, now that they've finished with that section, I think I want another storeroom digging out. So let's what? Must have pressed S there instead of D, my bad. Get the little corridor dug out and we'll have another storeroom. And we'll put some tables and chairs down here, because you know, I think they actually eat down here without me making this a dining hall. Or a meeting hall, sorry. And this is why I had them build twice as many thrones as I did tables, because you can sit two to a table. Apparently I could put like one on each end if I wanted to, but 3 to a table just seems cruel. Apparently they dug half of that out and then got bored. So, any more trees? Designate trees, and then as soon as the carpenter runs out of wood, he'll come up here to grab some more. It's a shame you can't make beds out of stone as well. All the rooms will have in them until they've been smoothed down is a bed, because other items can tend to block off the wall so that you can't actually smooth it down, and then you got to go through the hassle of removing it and putting it back just so you can smooth one section of wall, which doesn't sound too bad, but when you do that over 50 bedrooms it can be kind of a pain in the ass. Okay. What the hell's that? Monitor lizard, a medium-sized reptile. Well, let's hope that's not dangerous, because I don't have a military or a wall yet. looks like the carpenter has actually started chopping down wood. Because I just seen some douchebag bring a bunch of wood inside. And now we are going to want a furniture stockpile here, because if your like craft stores get too clogged down and too much clutter in their workshops, it will actually slow them down. So you're best off having the storage. And I'll want another one after this for crafts, armor and weapons. And then we can get back to digging down the apartment floors. Probably noticed, but they dig through mud a hell of a lot quicker than they do through stone, which is another good reason to have your storerooms up here. I actually thought we would have a migrant wave by now, but oh well. You can see here the empty barrels for the food will now go into storage in the furniture store, so you can actually... I quite like having the storage because you can see how much you've got, and it's a good thing to know. Because until I get my bookkeeper in office, I won't actually have any kind of counts. I can probably afford to make the offices a little bit bigger than the bedrooms. Let's see now, have they brought down... They brought down enough of these tables and chairs so that people can eat. That's good. Okay, so that guy hasn't built any more beds. Might as well put some more doors down, seeing as we've got them though. I will want a second mason in the next wave, so we can start putting up walls. I don't like being sat out in the open like this so much. You know what, I think I'll start cutting up this footage a bit now, because so far it's just watching mines and stuff, so I'll bring you back when something happens noteworthy. Okay, we didn't have to wait all that long there, like 5 minutes tops, and we got our first migrant wave, and they must have arrived like right on the edge of the desert, so that's, looks like there's only the 2 of them. Let's bring up Dwarf the Rapist here. Yes, we have 2. A fisherman and a soap maker. Well, no, you are not going to be making soap. I think what we will actually have you doing will be like... if I can find it, I want wood burning for this guy. Wait, where's British guy? So let's just turn mining on and off so we get his thing highlighted. And there is wood burning. I want you to do that. And furnace operating. There we go. So now we can start smelting stuff. And this other guy can do fish and stuff, so we'll build him a fishery. I'm not going to say no to the free food that fishing can provide. There we go. Make that from limestone because we have a shit ton of it. See, I've literally just designated this to be done. just finished the storeroom and I started doing these things here, and we had visitors. So it looks like we've hit another ore vein, and it looks like we're just mining this stuff by accident and we're going to have enough of it. Because with 50 dwarves I'll only have a single military squad. Well, I think what I might do is leave this episode off here. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.